Okay, YouTubers and space detectives, this is Joe from R10 TV, another quick game of Interplanetary I Spy going on here. And today we're mainly looking at this image here. This is from Sol 1352. So this was taken quite a while back. Let's have a look at the date at the bottom here. 1352, 2016, okay. So that's a few years back now. And we have a very strange thing right here, near the bottom of the image. Here's the image. You look straight down, near the bottom, near the middle, and we have a very strange, what I think is some kind of statue here. And there's also another statue right next to it here, and possibly another one here, okay? It's not immediately obvious, but this thing isn't very big. You can see this thing here. Now, I would estimate this to be between about a foot and maybe 18 inches. It's probably nearer 18 inches, I would say. I don't know exactly. Now, I've got a folder of some enhancements and things like that to show you in a minute. But what I'm going to show you first, before we do anything else, I'm just going to a quick mention about this video here, Mars Battle Tank. Now, I published this in May 2017, and it's now been blocked for some reason in some countries. Not in all, it doesn't say what countries. I did actually do an update on the Mars Battle Tank last year, and I did a much shorter version of it, which is less than 3 minutes. But what I've done is I've got this original video here, and I've re-edited it down a bit shorter. It's about 25 minutes now, 25 or 26. But what I've done is I've put some new images of this, which I've brightened up and made a lot clearer, right at the end of the video, okay? And what I'm going to be doing, as well as this video that I'm doing now, which is going to be uploaded today, I'm going to be also re-uploading this video, but the new edit of it, which is remastered. I've brightened it up, and there's some really nice, a couple of clips of the Mars Battle Tank, which you can actually really see the wheels and details a lot better. I brightened it up considerably, because it's quite, like a lot of these are, some of these images are quite dark. So if you've already seen this video, check it out anyway, and go right to the end at 25 minutes, and there's new clips at the end, because I've got a feeling this video may be taken down, so I'm a bit worried about that. This is why I'm going to re-upload a slightly edited version of it, just in case this one does go down. Then there's still a record of it, but luckily we do have the short version here, but that doesn't really go into any details about it. It just shows the pictures, and there's obviously a detailed description below. But I'm also a bit worried because when I initially did this video a couple of years ago, I posted it all over the place, and I sent it to the press, but the press wouldn't publish it. They refused to publish it. But what happened at the time was, after the video started sort of going viral after a few days, just for a while, and I posted it all over Facebook and stuff like that as well, and social media. But the guy who actually found it, Vladimir Vladimirov, after I published it, got trolled, and not just trolled, he got hacked and was subjected to a cyber attack. So there was something very strange happened there, and I'm a bit worried because I've not heard from Vladimir for a while. He usually posts lots of stuff on our Mars groups, like Mars Magazine, like we have here, R10 TV Mars Magazine. He would often post finds that he comes up with some great stuff, Mars and Moon finds mainly, but we've not heard from him in a while, and I wonder if he's okay. So Vladimir, if you're okay, please let us know. Come on to Mars Magazine and leave a message or say hello. Just a bit concerned about your safety, okay? And this is one of the best finds on Mars as far as I'm concerned, and this was found in an Opportunity rover image. So do check that out later on today, in a few hours. The new edit of this video will be up later, just in case this one goes down, and flick right to the end if you've seen it already, to about 25.3 minutes, and you will see the new clips. Okay, so let's get on with this because we don't want to take all day. Incidentally, I've also been in the news as well the last few days. I've been in what's it called? The Daily Express in the UK. They published one of my finds that was on ancient aliens here. You can see my laptop here, which I'm using now actually, and there's my chubby little hand with the snake tattoo. But yeah, the famous laptop, and one of the statue heads that I found years ago, which got me on Ancient Aliens. There's an article about that, so you may want to check that out. I'll put a link to that below, as with everything else. There's also this story. I think one of the guys at the Express has been watching Ancient Aliens, and of course I've sent quite a few stories to the Express in the past, which they've published. I've had dozens published in the newspapers over the years, and but he doesn't mention my name in this so much, and there's no links to any of the videos. So I put a link below, so you can check out the original video. That base, I'd call it, or Antarctic Pyramid, is a genuine structure, and there's absolutely no way that this could possibly be natural, because there's an equilateral triangle there, and it's inside a square, semi-buried structure, perfectly square, which is exactly 2 kilometers square, and also it's aligned perfectly to the compass as well, this thing, and points exactly north, east, west, south, and it lines up with the grid on Google Earth and everything. Is absolutely incredible. So do check that out. So I'll put links to these articles below, but come along to Mars Magazine and check them out. And you can, if you haven't seen the Antarctic Pyramid video that I did years ago, which was featured on Ancient Aliens, then do check it out, because it's one of my best, I think, and a genuine find. And lots of people have been asking about sending expeditions to Antarctica since I published this, and since it was on Ancient Aliens. I've had people contact me saying they want to send an expedition. The military have been going there, and there's been all sorts of funny stories about them finding underground cities and pyramids and structures and stuff like that. And even Buzz Aldrin went down there, and he had a stroke or some kind of heart attack or some kind of seizure after seeing something that he was taken to be shown by the military. And then there was all a big scandal about that a while ago, about a year ago I think it was, last summer. So there's been lots of strange things going on in Antarctica recently, and a lot of it was spurned by this find. Now, other people claim to have found things that look a bit like pyramids, but a lot of the time it's just they're just mountains with bits of ice on them, and ice and snow stuck to them, which make them look a bit like pyramids. A lot of them aren't, but this structure has an equilateral triangle, black equilateral triangle right here. You can see it there. Okay, so check that out, because that's a very important find. And this, if it is what I think it is, these structures could be well over 1 million years old, which means that they are the oldest buildings on Earth by a country mile. Okay, so check those articles out. Links will be below for that. But if you don't want to do that, just come to Mars Magazine and scroll down, and you will find them. Okay, but today what we're looking at are 2 images. There's this one here. This one's from Sol 50, and we have a bird here. You got part of the Curiosity rover here. You can see this. This is the rover, part of the rover, just there. And this bird skull is about, I would say, about 6 or 7 inches, maybe 8, but I would say about 7. And then we have this image that I just showed you a minute ago with the strange statue thing, which is one of the weirdest looking things I've seen on Mars. Now, I'll go straight to the folder and show you those quickly now. I won't go into a hell of a lot of detail now, because as always, at the end of the video, I'll put all the clips there for you to scroll through, and you can take screenshots and stuff like that. And what I will do is I'll put the memes, the high quality JPEGs of these will be, I'll put up on Mars Magazine, and you can download them. Okay, and I'll do the same with the Mars Battle Tank. I've done a new meme of that with a much brighter, clearer image of that. That will also be on Mars Magazine. You can download that as well. I do encourage people to download my memes, because there may come a stage where some of these videos are blocked completely from YouTube, and there seems to be a lot of censorship going on. So I do encourage people to do that. And even if you've got a new channel on YouTube, and you don't have a lot of material, feel free to rip this video here, this one here, Mars battle tank, Martian structure resembles military vehicle. Feel free to rip it and put it on your channel if you wish. I would rather other people publish it as well, just to make sure there are copies of it out there that people can see. So if you want to do that, feel free, okay? But you may be blocked as well, so who knows? But if you've got a channel, rip the video, upload it onto your channel, okay? Because I'd rather that than it not be seen, which is why I'm re-uploading it myself later. So let's get on with this, because this is a little bit complex. I'll show you these memes I've got first. Now here's the bird from Sol 50. This isn't very clear because the image is in shadow, so it's quite dark. In fact, the entire image is dark. So you've really got to brighten it up. But you can see, even in the raw image, if I go a bit brighter, actually, let's brighten that up a little bit, just to make it a bit easier to see. There we are. Okay. The meme was a little bit dark because it comes from a very dark set of images. So there we have it. You've got an eye here, with a round part here, with even a dot in the middle, like a black dot, like an iris. Okay. This is mummified. It's not a skull as such. Well, it is, but it's mummified. So there's still eye detail. You can see the beak coming up here, like that. Top of the beak here, obviously. That's all there is to it. I mean, there's not a lot to say about this apart from the fact that it's a bird specimen. What else could it possibly be? I have found others. Some are quite small, some are very large indeed. One of the ones I found was really big, really big, a couple of feet long. The actual, from back to front here, is 2 or 3 feet long, which would make it the largest bird found in the solar system. Big, way bigger than anything we have on Earth. This is kind of quite large. I don't know what sort of bird it is, and I don't know whether it was a flying bird or a flightless bird. I couldn't tell you. But you've even got the sort of ridges on the beak here. You can see these ridges here. Let's get a bit closer. That come up like this. Okay, almost like teeth. You can see those ridges here. One there, one there, one there. I'm not saying they are teeth, but that is consistent with certain types of bird that have ridges along the edge of their beak. And there we have it. And even in the raw image, if you let me brighten that up a little bit more, and then add a bit of contrast just to make it a bit more defined. There we are. You can even see that eye in the raw image there. You've got a circular eye, very circular. It's there, okay, with a dot right there, which is a pupil. And you've got part of the eye structure coming around here, sort of eyelid there by the looks of it, okay. And you can see that beak in the raw image that comes to there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that one. Let's go back to that. It's not one of the best and clearest finds, but it is definitely a bird. I can't tell you what sort of bird it is. My mother is an expert on birds. My brother is also an expert on birds, so I'm very familiar with birds. Loads of pictures of them. My mum used to paint them. My mum still keeps dozens and dozens of birds, mainly parrots and parakeets, that kind of thing. And the house is full of them. They got aviaries in the garden and everything, and there's loads of them. So quite familiar with birds. So there was that. So clip of that will be in at the end, as usual. Now this is the other thing from Sol 1352. Now I've already published this on I published this on Valentine's Day because that's when I found it, right? So that's why I call it Strange Statue Found on Mars, Valentine's Day 2019. So I'm calling this the Valentine's Day statue for no other reason than that. And here we have it. Let me zoom in for you. Let's not get too close because you won't be able to see the detail. There's the raw clip. And what's really odd about this, it's just so strange. It's on a sort of weird kind of plinth-like structure here that's got weird stuff sticking out of it, which is attached to this thing, right, which is half buried. And then you've got like a weird hand type thing sticking out here. And then you've got up here, let's show you on here, on this, you've got this, what looks like a hat that comes up, and then it kind of folds back behind this bit here. There's a fold there, and there's a hat. It's like a witch's hat almost. It's really, really odd. It is definitely, I would say, the strangest one I've found. And probably one of the strangest ones found ever. And I really don't quite understand what it's supposed to represent. There seems to be a face here with a nose and a mouth, an eye here, and another eye there, okay? And then this hat or helmet or whatever it's supposed to be comes up and over like that and round and folds. Very odd indeed. I really don't know what to make of it. And you've got something strange sticking out of this thing that is stood on here, like a white object there, okay? You can see that in the raw image, it's sticking out the side, okay? Really weird. Don't know what that means. Don't know what it is. And if you look at the wider image, I'll show you the wider clip at the bottom here. This is enhanced, basically enhanced. If you look really carefully, there looks to be what seems to be some damaged statues here as well. There's like a nose here, like a pig with a mouth, and then it's like an eye there, oh hang on a minute, an eye here and an eye there, okay? You see that? I'll get rid of those, and you can see the dark spots. There's a nose there, a snout with nostrils, a mouth, an eye and an eye, okay? Very odd indeed. So there are lots of animal statues and carvings and things in the area, and sculptures, if you want to call them that. This is very odd, not only because of the shape of it, this thing, but look at what it's attached to. It's attached to this weird structure that seems all broken and smashed. And we've got a statue here. Now this statue here isn't very clear, right? But I'll show you a clip of that in a minute. You've got an ear just there. You've got an eye here. You've got a little nose there. And you've got a mouth here, okay? And you've got this forehead coming up here and coming back. The head comes back like that, okay? That's a weird one. Not very clear, but it's there. Unfortunately, that's in shadow, so we don't see a lot of detail there. So what I'll do now, I'll show you the folder with these in, just to clear that up and show you some more clips of those, right? Okay. I want to keep this reasonably short, this one. My videos have been getting quite long recently. I've also been doing quite a lot of really short videos recently, because some people seem to prefer the short videos that they can share and show people that they know, rather than having to trawl through a 30 minute kind of documentary or whatever. So I will still be doing the longer videos like we're doing today, which have got detailed descriptions and narration, but I will also be doing shorter 4-minute videos as well for people, so they can share them with their friends a little bit more easier, without having to find the part of the video where everything is. But as a general rule, for anyone out there who does share my stuff, the clips are always at the end. So if you want to show your family or friends, just show them the last couple of minutes, okay? Any of my videos have got, and all of my videos I would say, have got the clips at the end, so you can just flick to the last couple of minutes and that's where all the images will be. So there's that meme. Let me show you that meme on here anyway. Again, I zoom into it. Look at it. This is absolutely crazy. What the hell is going on there? I mean, I've seen some crazy things on Mars, but this has got to be one of the craziest. Talk about avant-garde, abstract sort of art. I mean, this is absolutely insane. It may not be a statue, but I don't see what else it could be. I mean, look at it, sticking up like that and then bending, folding over like that behind. It's very odd indeed. Leave your comments below. I really don't know what to make of this thing. It's extremely strange. One of the strangest ever. But yeah, there's the statue thing that was near it, which I showed you a second ago. Is there, okay? It's very blurry. There's not a lot of detail. Let's go back a little bit. You can see the ear, quite clearly actually. You can see an eye there. You can see a puggish nose, like many of the Martians have, very puggish looking nose, and a mouth, okay? But there's not a great deal of detail to be seen there, okay? But I'll put that clip in at the end anyway, like everything else. There's also this nearby. I've no idea what this is, but I took a clip of it anyway, just to try and figure it out. It's just like a little weird little thing sticking out of the ground, like a little creature that's possibly encrusted. But it might just be a rock, who knows? That was weird. Don't think it's anything significant either way. There was one or two other things in this area. There was this. Now, this is. I'll show you the enhanced clip. I'll put this in at the end as well. This was weird. Now, I don't know what these are, but this thing that looks like a fish, a carved fish or something, coming around here, right? Fish shape with a tail, but it's got like a joint here, like it's been joined, like a model, almost like a model aeroplane or something, but or some kind of animal shape, like a tail and a fish shape. Now, whether this is carved or what, I don't know. And there's another one next to it here, which is also very similar, which has a tail at the back with a joint here, okay? It's got a joint just like this. It's got a joint there and a joint here, and it comes down and is kind of fish shaped. It's kind of that sort of pointy fish shape at the front. And this one even seems to have what look like eyes, two eyes, and a sort of face area here. Now, could it be that these are sort of fish that were actually in the lake and it dried up so rapidly that they just dried out and dehydrated and then got covered in dust and mud and sediment as it dried out, and they just solidified into a semi-rock like substance. This thing here is weird as well. I don't know what the hell that is. Look at this. This looks like a twisted bit of iron or something. Very odd. But that was weird. Like two fish, you know? What the hell's that about? Now, could they be carved? Yes. Could they just be rocks? Yes. But they're very similar, and they both have the joint in the same place where they got a tail, okay? Now, unfortunately, this one, you can't see the whole tail. In fact, let's put it in here a minute, because I might be able to make more sense of it if I draw around it for you, okay? Here's the raw image. So you can see them in the raw image quite clearly, okay? All they've done is added a bit of a colour filter to it and a bit of contrast. And that's it. There's not a great deal of difference in the image there, as you can see. Let's go a bit brighter. Let's give it some brightness. There we are. Now you can see a bit more detail. Now, the weird thing is, this thing, if you look carefully, not only have you got the joint here at the back and a tail coming around like that. So you've got a joint there, you've got a tail, right? But there seems to be, at the front, some detail here, like an eye or something. And there's like these little details there. Can't quite make them out. But this one here, let's get rid of that. There's also got the joint at the back here and the tail sticking up. But unfortunately, unlike this one, it's covered up by this bit of rock to the side of it. So I would imagine, if it's anything like this one, that this would come around like this, okay? And be a similar configuration to this one. So there's two of them. And not only that, this one here, you've got the body that comes along, and you've got the sort of nose area here, which is slightly obscured. It comes around like that, okay? But you've got what looks like a couple of eyes and possibly a mouth here. So who's to say either way? Not really clear enough to tell with any real assurance, but very tantalising detail. I mean, look at the shape. You've got the fish shape here coming right round, and another one right next to it. How weird is that? What are the chances of that? Both with a tail. One there and one here. Okay. Absolutely crazy. And they've both got a joint in the same place, like a little, as if that was a tail, an actual tail. And the body starts here and comes along to the front. This has also got this kind of eye-like thing. Oh God, that's a bit shaky there. Sorry about that. There's some weird little details on here. I don't know whether those are eyes or what. Not really sure about that, but that's really interesting to me. That is really quite odd. So let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to save that. I'll put that in at the end with everything else. So there's a few things in this image here. I did a sort of mini gigapan of it, which I've got here, out of about 5 images. I'll see if that'll load up. There we are. I'll put this on Artelian TV if you want to download it, okay? And I stitched the 5 images together. There's not much to see over here. It's all very small stuff too far away. And on this one on the right here, we've got the area we're looking at. Here's the weird statue thing, the Valentine's Day statue, which is attached to this very strange thing here. We've got this animalistic looking rock down here, which you can see a mouth and a nose there, and eyes there, okay? You can see it better actually. If you let your eyes adjust. And then we've got this other statue right here with the ear, which is side on to us, okay? But not very clear. So there's lots of other stuff in the area going on, but a lot of it, unfortunately, you can't see very well because of the angle and the sun and the shadow, as usual. There is a lot of luck involved with some of these finds because they just, if the sun's at the wrong angle, that would be completely black and you wouldn't see anything. But luckily, this particular thing here is highlighted by the sun coming from this side, and we've got quite a good shadow on that side, so it's given us good form to the shape, so we can actually work out the sort of three-dimensional characteristics of it quite well, okay? But it's very strange, the way it's attached to this here, it's joined to that, which is joined to this, which is all kind of broken and mashed up, and we've got this pig-like face down here, which may just be a rock, but you often see these things in groups. Now, as I've shown in previous videos, many of the statues you see in rows, and sometimes they're only a few feet apart, you know, and sometimes they're right next to each other in rows, as I've shown before. Often they're 10 or 15 feet apart, but often they're not. Often they're really close together. So if you find one, look around, look at the whole sol, look at all the other images in the area, and you'll probably find another one, or maybe 2 or 3, as I've done before. So that's always worth doing. So check those out. I'll put all the links below for all these things. That was it really for this. So like I said before, do check out, later on I'll re-upload the Mars Battle Tank video with new images at the end. It'll be a bit shorter than this. It'll be about 26 minutes. And if you fast forward to 25 minutes, the new images and clips will be at the end, so you can just go straight to that and check them out. Much brighter and clearer. The original was a bit dark. I brightened the video up as well and made some little edits to it. But I've left most of it as it is because it's for the archives, and I'm hoping they don't completely get rid of this video or block it completely. And also, as I said before, Vladimir, if you're out there, please leave us a message. Let us know you're okay. Not seen any of your finds for a while, so, and also I'll link you up to these articles as well from the Daily Express that show some of my stuff here and this one here, and that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.